Good morning, guys, and today I'm here to give you a lesson in modes again, and we are finally on to the sixth mode here, which is Aeolian, the natural minor mode to the mother key. The mother key we're working in now is C major. The whole series has been done based on C major. So this is Aeolian. The Aeolian mode is actually otherwise known as A minor, and I've drawn out the the scale diagrams here so that you can see what notes are in them and what the patterns look like on the fretboard. So let's deal with this first one here from the 5th fret of the E string. Again, this diagram represents a 5-string bass, so that's B, E, A, D, G, but we're just going to be using a 4-string bass today, and this is how the pattern looks when we play it. Okay, so you can see it on the diagram there. It's just going from the 5th fret. Again, I'm using on this one, I do use the 1 finger per fret rule. So that's one position that you can look at. Another position which similarly starts from the 5th fret is this one down here. Now this one, just bring that closer to the camera for you to see. It starts from the 5th fret and goes up a little bit higher up the fretboard than the one we just did. This is another very useful position. It's exactly the same notes, of course. It's another very useful position for you to learn. So let's look at that one. It goes like this. And again, this one I am using 1 finger per fret rule. Okay. Now, that one can also be transposed up to the 12th fret of the A string. So that's going to give you that pattern. Again, I use the 1 finger per fret rule when I play this scale. And then, so it's good to know these in. I didn't tab this. I didn't draw the diagram for this one out because you have to shift positions, and we're not going to get into shifting positions just yet. First of all, I think it's important to learn all these modes in one position and then join them together, which we will do in due course as we progress. But the next step that we have to do today is play the arpeggios. So let's go back to this first position from the 5th fret. Now our arpeggio is going to consist of the root, the first note of that scale, the 3rd, the 5th, 7th. That gives you a minor chord, a minor arpeggio, minor 7 arpeggio actually. Again, all of this is tabbed out as well and is up on my website. So that's a minor 7 arpeggio from the 5th fret. Similarly, that arpeggio can be transposed to the 12th fret. So always transpose what you do an octave higher, just so you know how the pattern looks and you can call up on it any time. So that's that position's arpeggio. Let's now go on to this position's arpeggio down here, again from the 5th fret, but the 1st finger position. That was the scale. And now we're going to play the arpeggio. I like this position a lot because you can rake through it more easily. So that is first, third, which is C, fifth, which is E, and then you've got the seventh, which is G there. Okay, and similarly that can also be transposed to the 12th fret for that position there. Right? So that is your Aeolian mode and its arpeggios. Let's just take a look at how to play the chords for that. If we play a chord from this 12th fret position, what we can do is bar across and include the root, the fifth and the seventh, like that. That's one way of doing it, okay, for the A string voicing. Another way of doing it for the A string voicing is to take the root, the third and the seventh. I think that sounds nicer with the third in there because it makes it definitely a minor chord. So that one comes from this position, but we have to swap our fingers around a bit for ergonomics, really. Otherwise it's hard to access all the notes. So that one is third finger on 12th fret of the A string, first finger on the 10th fret of the D string, and your little finger on the 12th fret of the G string to give you A, C, G. There you go. And then on the E string we can do this. In this position or this position, we can bar all the way across and just play the A, the G and the C. We miss out the A string. We'll just play the E string, the D string and the G string, and that gives us an A, a G and a C. So that's the root, the seventh and the third. I sometimes play it like this. Depends what I'm going to do, or I play it like this, with first, second and third fingers playing those notes all on the 5th fret. That of course can be transposed up here as well. So there you go. Now you have an insight into minor chord voicings and also the arpeggios for this Aeolian mode, and a few different scale patterns as well. So what I would like to do is just let's make a groove using this. So what I'll do is I'll just get a beat going on here. And what we'll do is we'll play a groove, something. Something like this. Just record that in. Just record that in. Just record that in. Just record that in. And then we'll put the chord on top. So I'll play this chord. Just record that in. Just record that in. Just record that in. Just record that in. And I will double the bass line. Just record that in. Up here. Just record that in. which we could improvise in A minor. So what I'd like you to do is just to have fun playing around with the arpeggios and the scales. Like, it might be fun just to start from this 12th fret position. So you can have fun just messing around with that. I was just messing around with different note groupings and rhythms, and you can play through all the positions. I'm going much higher up the neck, but the possibilities are endless. And don't forget as well, all the modes that you've learned up until now are also going to work over this for the most part, especially like the Mixolydian, G Mixolydian that you learned. And the E Phrygian. Because they're all part of the same scale, you see, that's what I'm getting at. They're all part of the C major mother key there that we're working in. So anyway, I won't go on and on about that, but I'll put that little backing track up on my website as well, so that you can practice along with it. And the tabs will be up there too. So that's it essentially. So the main points here is to realize that this scale, the A minor Aeolian scale, is what we call the relative minor to the C major scale. And if you look at the original Ionian C major mode way back in the first lesson that I did on modes, and you look at the notes that are in it, in the arpeggio, C, E, G, B, and then you look at the notes that are in this A minor, A, C, E, G, there are three common notes in there, right? C, E, and G. So what it means is that C major and A minor have many common notes in them. I mean, they're in the same key after all. But this is why it's called the relative minor, because it's the same key but just from a minor point of view. And we all know that a minor key sounds a bit darker and sadder than a major key. And the property of the Aeolian mode is just natural minor. It's just a very plain sounding minor scale, whereas the Phrygian mode was more Spanish. So what I'm getting at here is that each mode has, you know, like I said before, remember each mode has a kind of quality to it, and the main thing here is to take away from this is that modes are essentially the same scales, but played from different parts of the mother key, from a different note within the mother key. And so far we've done Ionian, we've done Dorian, Sorry. Done Dorian. We've done Phrygian. We've done Mixolydian. We've done. Sorry, not Mixolydian. What am I talking about? That's Lydian. We've done Mixolydian. And today we've done Aeolian. Right? And then we've only got one more to go, and we've gone full circle. So, all of those are in what I call the major chord scale, and I think that is a real key to learning your music theory. Once you've got all of these patterns under your fingers, it's easy to transpose them on the bass guitar, because you just move them up or down a fret. Same pattern, just move it around. So it's a very visual thing for me, and that's why I think using chord diagrams and writing stuff out yourself is really key here. So anyway, I have written this out for you, and it's on my website if you want to get it, but I recommend that you also, if you really want to commit these to memory, I remember I used to write everything out, absolutely everything that I was learning, scales, arpeggios, patterns, even licks. I would write them out, either in mostly in tablature and notation, actually, rather than scale diagrams. But anyway, whatever works for you, as long as it commits it to your memory, it's good. It's all good. So there you go. If you've got any questions about these modes lessons, just let me know. I'm also available for private lessons if you want to go through any of this stuff and take your time with it, or ask more in-depth questions. That is possible too. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and see you again for the last in our mode lessons next time, which will be the Locrian mode.